Today, Dr. Sharp will share with you some knowledge about earthquakes. Earthquake refers to vibration or movement of the crust, which is the surface of the earth. The power of the crustal movement is massive. It changes the face of the earth. Slow movement and squeezing over extensive period of time create ridge mountains. The Matterhorn and the Himalayas were formed this way. When the force is too strong, the plate would break off and form a fault, such as the famous Great Rift Valley. Earthquakes are also one of the major natural disasters on Earth. The vibration causes landslides and even volcanic activity. If an earthquake occurs at the bottom of the ocean, movement of the seabed can cause tsunamis. Earthquakes can cause direct damage to buildings or even lead to their collapse. Subsidence or cracks in the ground can cause huge casualties and property loss. As the structure of the Earth's crust is highly complex, and the origin of vibration being unpredictable, how earthquakes occur is still a scientific puzzle. Since the proposal of the theory of plate tectonics, it has been recognized by most scientists in explaining the causes of earthquakes. Most of the earthquakes are caused by crustal movement. In the process, due to gravity, rigid rocks change in morphology. Even rupture at times. An earthquake would occur when that happens. China is located between the Pacific seismic belt and the Eurasian seismic zone, so earthquakes happen frequently, and the damage is severe. Before we go any further with earthquakes, let's familiarize ourselves with some earthquake-related terminologies. The position of rupture caused by rock vibrations is called hypercenter. The point on the surface right above the hypercenter is known as the epicenter. The vertical distance from the source to the ground is the focal depth. The distance from any point on the ground to the epicenter is called the epicentral distance. If we draw a dotted line to connect the points on the ground according to similar extent of damage, that is called the isoseismic line. Seismic wave is the energy wave being released. It causes all kinds of damage on the surface. There are two measurements of the earthquake: magnitude and degree of crack. Magnitude, which is usually referred as Richter earthquake level. It is classified by how much energy is released in an earthquake. The magnitude increases a level. The energy increases 32-fold. For instance, on March the 11th, 2011, an earthquake of a magnitude level 8.8 occurred in the eastern water area of Honshu Island, Japan. However, according to recorded history, the largest earthquake ever occurred at 19 hours 11 minutes on May the 22nd, 1960 in Chile, South America. Scientists calculated that the magnitude of the earthquake reached 9.5 on the Richter scale. Earthquake intensity refers to when an earthquake happens, the extent of damage the ground, houses, and other buildings have. In China, quake intensity is divided into 12 degrees. Generally, if the point is farther away from the epicenter, the smaller the extent of the damage there is, and so is the intensity. For example, the magnitude of the 1976 Tangshan earthquake is 7.6. The degree of intensity was 11 degrees to 12 degrees, while the intensity lowered to 6 to 7 degrees in Beijing and Tianjin. There are two modes of vibrations in earthquakes: P wave and S wave. P wave is the principal wave, is longitudinal with higher speed, while S wave is transverse, spread slower than P wave. The earthquake warning system monitors P wave. The time difference between P wave and S wave allows us to send warnings. The mere 10 seconds could greatly help to reduce the number of casualties. As long as human beings live on Earth, earthquakes are inevitable for us. For earthquake-prone countries, we have to build high seismic intensity buildings to resist earthquakes. To survive in an earthquake, one should find a triangular space which is usually referred as seismic life triangle. Although we can learn much about earthquakes, however, no one knows when it will occur. But when it does, we need to stay calm and not panic.